going to tell you a little story about my 12-year-old daughter who brought back my PTSD, anxiety, depression, and just good old sadness. I was at home watching my girls like I normally do, and my 12-year-old daughter, I thought she was in her room, but that wasn't the case. I called for her, Bella, Bella, with no response. So I immediately thought, maybe she's taking a poop, or maybe she's feeding the dogs outside. But that wasn't the case. She was nowhere to be found. So I immediately thought the worst. I'm thinking maybe she got kidnapped, and maybe I would have to call in an Amber Alert. I didn't know where she was. I went through all these emotions. Sadness, because she may have been kidnapped and something may have happened to her. Happy, because I wouldn't have to deal with her attitude anymore. And sad, because that's my daughter. I had a Liam Neeson moment right away.
If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
I immediately started thinking, don't they know I was in the 82nd Airborne Division? Don't they know I'm a paratrooper? Don't they know I will find them if they took my daughter? Don't they know I will either shoot them or tase them? They must not know that I have 2 Bronze Stars from wartime experience.
Dust off the stress, no more bullets and bombs, just time to relax and start.
I wasn't really happy about it, and I began to panic. I was like, oh my God! Where's my daughter at? Did she get kidnapped? What am I going to tell my wife? Oh no! And then I came to my senses and figured I might try to call her cell phone. So that's what I did. I called her up. It went straight to voicemail. Kids these days, at least my kids, they don't like to talk on the phone. Instead, they'll ignore the call and text you right back, which is what happened this time. After it went to voicemail, I got a text saying, "What?" Question mark. I'm relieved because my daughter is alive, but at the same time, I'm pissed off because I didn't know where she was, and she didn't tell me where she was going. This brought a sense of anger out of me that I haven't had in some time, since being on my medication from the VA. It brought the beast mode out. I went into army mode first, put on my army jacket. And then I was like, she must not know. I'm trained in Army Modern Combatives. She should know better as a 12-year-old to let me know where she's going, so I don't worry about her. But she didn't. All I said in the text to respond to her what? Question mark, was, we need to talk when you get home. I immediately get a phone call from her, and she says, I told Mommy I was going to leave. I was like, tension building up inside. And I said to her, how are you going to tell Mommy when she's at work and I'm sitting on the couch in the next room? We'll talk about it when you get home. She caused me to worry, and I didn't like that very much. I didn't like that very much at all. So all of the tension and anger and frustration that was building up inside of me, I was trying to control it. But I just couldn't. I let out a big airborne. And then when she got home, we talked about it. I had her do an extra chore. I made sure she understood that she would never do that again, or I would report her as a missing child, and she would be an Amber Alert. I should have did it this time. But I know better for next time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.